عن الفحشاء والمنكر. Salah prohibit you from or stop you from doing fahsha and munkar. Al-fahsha is like, fornication, and munkar is like drinking and something big. So if the salah does not stop you from doing these things, what's going to happen to you? Then how good is your salah? See, that's the balance, right? So this is the akhlaq. That's why akhlaq is important after you finish your ibadah. Look, the Prophet ﷺ said in the hadith, he said, al-hadith al-Qudsi about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he said that I will accept salah from those who humble themselves to me, to my glory. So if you don't humble yourself to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, how good is your salah? It's no good. And then he said, and he does not be arrogant upon the people. I come to the masjid all the time, man. I don't even see you in the masjid. Right? I'm always in the first line. You're always coming late and you're missing the salah. Right? Where are you on Friday, man? I've been here every Friday since I was born. I don't see you in the masjid. Right? And do not be arrogant. Because if we have arrogance, then we are defying our salah. Okay, and then he said, and he does not continue doing sins, meaning that continuously. How good is it if someone like pray and he drinks? How good is your prayer? Well, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will accept that somehow, somewhere, somewhat. But then look what you are doing. It's something bigger than that. And then he said, and he was merciful with those who are in need, and those who are passing by, and those who are, widows, and those who are in calamity. So what does the salah has to do with being merciful? Remember, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. So being merciful is akhlaq. That's another thing. What about as-sadaqah? Sadaqah, when you give sadaqah, when you give charity. Look what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran. He said, خُذْ مِنْ أَمْوَالِهِمْ صَدَقَةً تُطَهِّرُهُمْ وَتُزَكِّيهِمْ بِهَا. He said, take from their money a charity or a sadaqah that will purify them and elevate them with it. Isn't this akhlaq? If you don't feel that you are purified and you don't feel that you are elevated, so how good is your sadaqah? Look, it is about elevating your soul. With those who give sadaqah and they said, Ya akhi, you know what, wallahi, if you ask these walls of the masjid, it will speak about me. What happened to your sadaqah? Gone. Isn't that what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said? في سبحان الله قل هل ننبئكم بالأخسرين أعمالا. Should I tell you about those who are losers? الذين ضل سعيهم بالحياة الدنيا وهم يحسبون أنهم يحسنون صنعا. They do something bad, they think they are doing it good. والذين ينفقون أموالهم ثم لا يتبعون ما أنفقوا منا ولا أذى. They spend their money but they don't even speak about it. But then you have to understand, it's a very thin line. Abu Bakr radiallahu anh spent all his money. Did people know about this? Did people know about it? Of course they do. Then how did we narrate the hadith? Did it affect Abu Bakr radiallahu anh? No. Umar radiallahu anh spent half of his money. Did people know about it? Yes. Did it affect Umar radiallahu anh? No. So what is it actually? Is what your intention and your niyyah. So even in the sadaqah, there is akhlaq in it. Look, subhanallah. So how the goal of a sadaqah is to purify you, to make you a better person, to feel for those who are in need. When you are giving the sadaqah, you feel. Remember the hadith of the man who gave sadaqah the first time? It came in the hands of a prostitute. Then he gave another sadaqah. Now he did not give up. He said, you know what? I'm not going to give any more, man. I gave the first time. It got into the hands of a prostitute. What's wrong with this? Sometimes people come and they say, where is my money going to? Can you tell me? Yeah, fine, you have the right to ask that question. But then he said, I'm going to give again. The next way he gave, it came in the hand of a thief, a robber. He said, how can this happen? I'm giving money and it's going in the hands of a thief. قال ربي صدقة ولص. A thief. He insisted in giving sadaqah. Why? Because of his belief. He said, لَإِنْ كَانَ مِنْ غَدٍ لَأَتَصَدَّقَنْ. If it is tomorrow come upon me, I will give sadaqah. So it came in the hands of a rich person. And you say, how? How that's going to happen? A rich person, he doesn't need money. Well, maybe that money you gave to the prostitute, she will protect the society from al-fahisha. When you give it to a thief, he will stop robbing people. I was watching a video today. One guy wanted to rob a store. So he came in and he said he bought something for $1.50. While the cashier opened the box, he grabbed the gun and he said, man, I'm really sorry, man. I need the money. You need to give me money. And the cashier said, how about if I give you $40? He said, no, man, that's not enough. I need to feed my kids. My kids are hungry and this and that, And he gave him everything. He said, I'm really sorry, man. I'm really sorry. I apologize for doing this. But I promise you, when I have the money, I'll give it back to you. What a nice robber, He's a nice guy. I'm saying this was caught in the camera, It was caught in the camera. But subhanallah, look at how, imagine, the akhlaq. The akhlaq that will stop you from doing something bad. And then it comes in the hand of a rich person, because that rich person sometimes, they forget that they have rights. That people have rights upon them. The masjid have right upon him. Those who are in need, they have right upon them. So they give the sadaqah. Give the money to them. They'll say, I don't need the money. What are you giving me the money for? Well, then you have to feel how the money, when it comes in your hand and you are in need for it. How does it feel? So that will teach you that. Okay? What about fasting? Does fasting have akhlaq? Anybody knows? What kind of akhlaq we're talking about? Look, hadith Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. إذا كان يوم صوم أحدكم فلا يرفث ولا يصخب فإن سابه أحد أو قاتله فليقل إني امرئ صائم إني امرئ صائم إني امرئ صائم. 3 times. He said in Ramadan, when you are fasting, if someone cursed you or called you something, or and you did not do anything bad, then you will be rewarded as your fasting. So the fasting, Rasulullah, he said, man lam yatruk qawl az-zur. In Ramadan, if you are fasting and you are lying to people, he said, then he does not need to leave his food and his drinks and his eating and his all that. This is the khuluq of as-siyam. So when you look at the goal, when the Prophet ﷺ said, إِنَّمَا بُعِثْتُ لِأُتَمِّمَ مَكَارِمَ الْأَخْلَاقِ, I was given the message to do what? To perfect the what? The best of the manners. How about the Hajj? When you go to Hajj, look, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala يقول الحج أشهر معلومات فمن فرض فيهن الحج فلا رفث ولا فسوق ولا جدال في الحج. When you go to Hajj, you should not shout, you should not curse, you should not, push people, you should not argue with people. You should leave your tongue home. Basically, that's what I told my wife. I said, I'm leaving my tongue home. Because anybody went for Hajj or Umrah? Hajj, right? Anybody went for Hajj? You know what I'm talking about, right? People push you with their elbows into your heart, and you feel yourself, you're falling. When you go for the jamarat, people are stepping on you. You're losing your ihram, and people the old water all over you, and you don't know what kind of water is it, and people keep pushing you. People sometimes I see people being carried around in the tawaf. They are very skinny, subhanallah, they're being carried. And you have this train of people, they come and they push you, and they separate you from the group, and what do you do? What do you say? La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Subhanallah. You come out of the masjid, your shoes are gone. You have to walk barefoot like me to the hotel. Someone have borrowed them. What do you want to say? فَلَا رَفَثَ وَلَا فُسُوقَ وَلَا جِدَالَ فِي الْحَجِّ. you know, sometime one of the brothers, he got hit by a big stone like this in his head. He was bleeding. You know, I got hit so many times also, because my wife wanted me to be in the front. And I get all the hits on my head because she's behind me. You know, this brother came and he saw the one who hit him. He said, come here. He said, I'm sorry. He said, you know what? This is not shaitan here. He said, this is not shaitan. Shaitan is like there. You're missing the direction. But that guy, we saw him, he saw this brother, mashallah, this brother is from, maybe like from Africa, he's like tall. And that guy's really a little bit, you know, medium size. He said, this guy gonna like, you know, crush him. He said, you know what, I just want to tell you, this is not shaitan here. Shaitan is right there. You're missing the direction. That's why, this is the khuluq. How many people you've seen? I have seen people. They have lost it. I was in Mina. This brother started cursing right and left. I said, La hawla. People start coming and closing his mouth. They don't want him to lose his hajj. Ya akhi, what happened? Someone stole my unscented, you know, soap. You're losing your $10,000 hajj package because of the soap. Because unscented, you know, when you do ihram, you cannot use the soap with scented one. How bad is this? This is where the akhlaq. One time I was in a masjid and I was leaving, and this brother went out. Ramadan, he was leaving. I'm not going to mention the masjid. So he was leaving and he started cursing right and left after the Taraweeh. Like, ya akhi, what happened? Someone stole my shoes. What is this? People, this and that. And then finally, he forgot that he parked somewhere else his shoes. I said to myself, how good is your Taraweeh? Even if you are in the first line and you are crying. What happened to your Taraweeh? It's gone. No good. Your Taraweeh is no good. Your ibadah is no good. Why? Because there is no akhlaq. And when we come here and we are so good and all that, we go outside and we start shouting, calling names and all that. I said, how good is your prayer? How good is your siyam? How good is your zakah? How good is your hajj? And these are the pillars of Islam. If you lose the power, the arkanul Islam, the pillars of Islam, what's left? That's why I say it is the akhlaq. You know, subhanallah. So then you look at, in general, the whole, subhanallah, the whole Islam. You say, which one comes first, knowledge or akhlaq? Good question. Knowledge or akhlaq? Listen to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He said, ربنا وابعث فيهم رسولا منهم يتلو عليهم آياتك ويعلمهم الكتاب والحكمة ويزكيهم. This ayah was narrated by Ibrahim alayhi salam. He said, oh Allah, send upon them a prophet that will recite upon them your verses, and he will teach them the book and the wisdom, and he will elevate them. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so He said what? التربية على حسن الخلق. So you have to have the tarbiyah to be in a good manner. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, now what Allah said, He said, كما أرسلنا فيكم رسولا منكم يتلو عليكم آياتنا ويزكيكم ويعلمكم الكتاب والحكمة. So Allah, when He narrated it from Himself, He said, tazkiyah first, akhlaq first,